All right guys, Fern here. I wanted to address something because I realized that we've done a poor job of communicating something that I put out every week in the email. So I wanted to talk a little bit about the endurance WODs. I've had this conversation at least 3 times in the past week. What are they? When should we do them? How do I find them? So let's talk about that. So I usually put that out, check them in the email that goes out Sunday evening, but I realize we've done a poor job of telling you like where they are and how to do them and what the premise or intent of those workouts is. So first things first, we do offer 2 additional days of endurance programming. When I say endurance, what we're talking about is running and rowing, and those workouts are programmed. There's 2 a week, do them whenever you want. So let's talk about first about where to find them in Wodify. So most of you guys are pretty familiar with Wodify, and so you can do this from the app or from your phone. Yeah, you can turn that if you want. Or from your phone. And the first thing you want to do is you're going to go into programs and you're going to change it to endurance, right? Now, the second piece you have to understand about, these are always posted on Mondays. So if I go to Monday, now I'm going to find day 1 and day 2. Day 1 and day 2 will both be listed on Monday. So even though we don't have, or even though there's 2 workouts and they're not intended to be done on the same day, they're both written in Wodify on the Monday of every week. So if you actually wanted to go back and get weeks and weeks and weeks of programming, you could just pull up program endurance, hit the calendar, and just go back through series of Mondays for probably almost a year if you just wanted to start back from scratch. So there's 2 a week. They are both on Monday, and I usually kind of tailor these kind of toward the year, or meaning like the weather. So in the winter, you'll see a little bit more rowing days, and I'll try to alternate running, rowing, running, rowing. During the summer, because it's nicer outside, we will probably see a lot more running. More likely than not, during the summer, both days will be running. Okay. Now, so that's where you find them. Under programs, go to endurance. They will always be listed on Monday. So if you're looking at Tuesday through Sunday, you're not going to find it. It's going to show as nothing. You have to go to the Monday of that week. Now, let's talk about the workouts and why. So we started doing this about a year ago because a lot of people wanted to do extra stuff. And just so you guys know how I feel about it, I don't mind if you want to do extra work. I would prefer that somebody who knows what they're doing, meaning us, program this extra work for you so that at least we know what it is that you're doing, and that this, whatever you're doing, is not going to essentially hurt or contradict the work that we're doing in the gym here. The other reason I love this stuff, so the vast majority of this stuff comes from Chris Henshaw. If you don't know who Chris Henshaw is, he runs one of the subject matter expert courses for CrossFit. He's a 2 or 3-time Ironman champion, really knows his stuff, but is also a CrossFitter. So what you're gonna see, and what I really like about this programming, is it is not high volume. A heavy week, I've done this program for almost a year. I'm not doing it right now, but I did it for almost a year. A heavy week would be 8 miles, okay? You're usually gonna see some sort of combination of a sprint / interval day, and then maybe every 3rd day is gonna be a longer day. I wanna say longer day, 30 to maybe 40 minutes. And those are the only weeks that you're gonna push towards the 8-mile mark. All of these are intended to be done pretty hard, and a lot of what it's gonna teach you is pacing. And in endurance world, pacing is everything. If you understand what's too fast or what's too slow, or how to slowly bring your pace down so that you can go from a 7-minute mile to a 6-minute mile, that's where all the benefit comes from. But it only comes from pacing. So now, how do you do these? Everything is delineated in the workout. It's going to show you exactly what the intervals are, exactly what the rest periods are, all of that stuff. Do these on whatever day works for you. Does not matter to me. So if you can only get them in on Monday and Friday, that's fine. If you have to do them back-to-back days, that's fine too. I'd rather you get them in at your leisure than try to find this perfect schedule and get them in always on Tuesday, Thursday, or whatever you want to do. If you're going to double this up with a day that you're going to come in the gym and do the CrossFit workout, that's fine. Ideally, we would like you to get 4 hours between training sessions, because these are intended to be hit with a lot of intensity, and what we're going to do that's up on the whiteboard is intended to be done with a lot of intensity. If you can't, you can't. Okay. Now, which one should you do first? It depends. It depends on what your priority is at the time. If you're training for a marathon, I want you to prioritize whichever one is the focus first. So if I'm kind of in this state where I'm kind of supplementing my running with CrossFit, do your running first, then do your endurance stuff in the afternoon or later in the day. If it's the other way around and you just want to add some endurance workout because you feel like you need a little bit more wind in the lungs, then it doesn't really matter. But if you're doing it to supplement your CrossFit, do your CrossFit first, then add your endurance programming later in the day or after that. So I wanted to clean that up because I've had some questions about it and people didn't understand it. Anybody can do this, guys. It's not for any particular athlete. If you suck at running or rowing and you want to start working on it, I highly suggest starting to do this stuff. Very, very few of these are going to take an hour from start to finish. Most of them are going to be in the 30 to 35, maybe 40-minute range. The only ones that are going to push an hour are going to be the ones where you're going to start with a 35-minute run or 35-minute row. So they're fairly quick, really, really high intensity. Depending on the workout, tailor your warm-up. If you're going to go for a really long run, you don't need that long of a warm-up. You can do, touch your toes, do a couple line drills and take off. If it's going to be a sprint day and you have really, really short intervals for high volume or really, really high intensity, make your warm-up much, much longer. Make sure you're ready to go when you take off for a sprint. Otherwise, you're going to pull a hammy or something bad can happen. So, shorter workouts, longer warm-up. Longer workouts, shorter warm-up. You can find all of the endurance workouts. They're going to be posted on Mondays only. You just have to change the program to endurance and then you'll be able to pull it up. So I wanted to clear that up because I realized we've done a terrible job of explaining that and then showing people where it's at and the reason why we do it. So I hope everybody understands it now and knows where to find it. Feel free to do it. If you want to come in, grab one of the rowers, please do that. Just make sure you ask one of the coaches where you can set up so that you're out of the way. But we do not mind at all. If you want to come in, it's not a rowing day, pull one of the rowers down, pull up the workout, find out what it is, do the endurance WOD. So try it out, see how you like it. I did it for almost a full year. Ran the fastest 4 mile of my life last year in sub 27, so I was super pumped about it. And the great thing I like about a lot of this programming is you're going to go into a running or an endurance workout with preset intent. Like I know what I need to do today. It's delineated for me. The rest periods are delineated. The work periods are very set up in a way that makes sense to me, and I'm not just kind of running aimlessly. I'm doing something that makes sense. I'm trying to knock these things out, and I kind of understand based on the workout how high or low the intensity should be. So I hope that helps. If you guys have any questions, grab one of us in the gym. We'd be more than happy to talk to you a little bit more in depth about this stuff. All right, cool, thanks.